Hey all, Dave here. Today I'm going to be making some spicy Chipotle refried beans. Refried beans are a classic side at many Tex-mex restaurants, and these are, without a doubt, perhaps some of the best that I've ever had. This recipe's taken a lot of testing, a lot of trial and error, but I think I've got something here that I'm very happy with. It has a nice heat, a nice smoky flavor, it's nice and rich. It's just a very good, spicy, flavorful refried bean recipe, as you'll see. To get started though, you need to get yourself 1 pound of beans. I prefer pinto beans, so that's what I have here. And I've soaked these overnight. You can use black beans, red beans, whatever beans you would prefer to have in your refried beans. In addition to the beans, you'll need to get yourself a large onion, 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, and 1 or 2 jalapeno peppers. To add some additional heat, a nice peppery chili flavor, and a nice smokiness, I have a can of Chipotle peppers here. Chipotle peppers are just smoked jalapenos, so they'll provide a nice heat and smoky flavor to the refried beans. You also need to get yourself a few spices. Some ground cumin, some chili powder, preferably homemade. This is my own homemade chili powder, and I'll link to this recipe so you can try to make your own. It's a lot better than what you would normally get at your local grocery store. Fresher, more flavorful. Some dried oregano, and some bay leaves. You'll also need some fresh ground black pepper, and some chicken stock or vegetable stock. I'm just going to use a vegetable stock bouillon powder here. You don't need this now, but at the end, when you're mashing up the beans, a little bit of liquid smoke will help really ramp up that smoky flavor.
Hey y'all, Dave's dad talking and helping out with this video. You will want to peel and dice your onion. It doesn't need to be super fine, but you won't want large pieces either. You will then want to scrape the seeds out of your jalapenos and dice them. Next, smash your cloves of garlic with the side of a large knife and remove the skins. Then mince your garlic. Now that the garlic is finished, drain as much liquid from the can of Chipotle peppers into the pressure cooker. You can also squeeze some of the liquid from the peppers themselves. This will make chopping them less messy. Rinse the can with just a little water so you don't lose too much of the Chipotle juice. Then go ahead and chop your peppers. Now that the chopping is done, add your soaked beans to the pressure cooker with the Chipotle juice. Add your onions, jalapenos, garlic, and chopped Chipotle peppers. Add 8 cups of water to the pot. And then add 3 tablespoons of your chicken or vegetable bouillon. See the link above for a video on how to make your own vegetable bouillon. Add 1 tablespoon of oregano, 2 tablespoons of cumin, 2 tablespoons of chili powder. See the link above for how to make your own chili powder. 2 large bay leaves, and about 1 teaspoon of ground pepper. Stir to mix all the ingredients. Put the lid on and push the bean chili setting on the pressure cooker, or set it to high pressure for about 25 minutes.
The beans are done cooking. I let them naturally release pressure and cool down a bit. But they're still quite hot. These are very soft and perfectly edible just the way they are now. Oh yeah, these are good. They've got heat, from the jalapeno and the chipotle. If you don't want so much heat, leave out the jalapenos, maybe cut back on the chipotle. But to really make these refried beans, we're going to have to drain off a lot of this water and then mash these up. I would strongly encourage you to save the liquid you get from these beans when you drain them, because this will make a wonderful base for making Mexican rice, as you'll see in one of my future videos. Now I would normally do that in the sink so I don't make a mess all over my cabinet, but you want to save this liquid. This liquid you got from the beans has a lot of flavor in it, and this is going to work out really well when I make Mexican rice in a future recipe. Just get yourself some mason jars or something else to store this liquid in. I'll just distribute it between 3 mason jars as equally as I can, and I'll use 1 jar in each batch of rice that I do in the future. I'll just fill these up real quick. Three jars of tasty spicy bean liquid to use in the future for making Mexican rice. Trust me, this stuff's real good. Keep it. Just let these cool off a little bit before you put them in your fridge. Take the bay leaves out when you find them. Just compost these or whatever you normally do with them. Alright, I've just over 7 cups of beans here, but we still need to mash these up. Before I mash these up though, I'm going to add 2 final ingredients to really elevate these and make them something special. 2 teaspoons, maybe a tablespoon of liquid smoke, which is going to really increase the already present smokiness. You may want to add this a teaspoon at a time, taste as you go, just so that you don't get things too smoky, depending on how smoky you like your refried beans. A lot of refried bean recipes out there call for lard, bacon grease, or even butter. It helps make them richer and creamier. I'm trying to be a little bit healthier though, so I'm just going to add a couple tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And the reason I'm adding these in now, after cooking, is I don't want them to drain away with the rest of the water. So you'll get a lot more out of these if you add them in right before you mash up your beans. I'm just going to mash these up real quick with a potato masher right after I add these 2 ingredients. And there you have it. A spicy, smoky, chipotle, flavorful, refried beans. They're easy to make in either a pressure cooker or a slow cooker, whatever you happen to have. Let's give these a taste though. Beans are super soft. Pressure cooking or just slow cooking for a long time, super soft. These have a good amount of heat from the jalapeno and the chipotle. There's a good amount of spice and flavor from the chili powder, the cumin, the other spices, the vegetable stock. There's a little bit of a smoky flavor from that liquid smoke we added. Overall, these just have a really good flavor. Since I made my own vegetable bouillon stock, these don't have a lot of salt in them. So you can add some salt just to suit your own personal preferences. These are great just by themselves, in a burrito, or just as a dip with some tortilla chips. Mmm. Oh man. The saltiness from the chips really helps, since they didn't add any salt in here. But, trying to be healthy, these are really good. You won't buy canned refried beans again after this. I've got 7 cups of beans here. I live alone. These might make it to next week. We'll see. Whenever I get into one of these Tex-Mex kicks, I go through a lot of rice, a lot of beans, a lot of corn, and other stuff. So, I'll be eating a lot of these. They're really good. Oh, man. I'll probably do a little bit of a different version of this in the future. You'll see. As always, if you liked this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you're notified when I do more of these. See ya!